What is up, you spry little penguins? I'm King Lobo, creator of the Pack Time series, but you probably remember me from that dick pic that I sent your mom. Sorry about that, bro. Today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us Part 2, whether or not it's any good, and how it chaps my ass to watch other YouTubers talk about it. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by Manscaped, crop preserving and anti-chafing ball deodorant. Manscaped, they keep all your nut rut out from under your under the butt nut hut.
Bars.
I'm just kidding. Nobody wants to sponsor me. But they totally could though. Hey, Manscaped, call me. Back. Please. Alright, so this is how the video is going to go. I'm going to break the game down into 4 sections. Gameplay, graphics, sound, and story. Then I'm going to wrap it all up by slapping a trivial score on it. And I say trivial because at the end of the day, art, the expression or application of human creative skill or imagination, is completely subjective person to person. And if you need someone's help to form an opinion on something, then you probably hang out with a dinosaur every day. And everyone knows that dinosaurs are extinct, so you obviously have no friends. Also, while we're on the subject, real fast, I want to discuss how much I hate how other YouTubers use big words to try and sound fancy.
The story is poignant enough because of how self-contained it is.
That's not going to happen in this video, brother beans. We do dope shit here. So sit back, relax, and watch me make this video my bitch. Gameplay in The Last of Us 2 goes something like this. You calmly explore a beautiful and extremely well-made environment until eventually you run into a puzzle. 9 times out of 10, this comes in the form of a door that you can't open for some reason. Not really my bag, but I will say this. All the puzzles feel like they belong and they're not just some mini-game to keep you occupied, which makes for good immersion. But then, and usually all of a sudden without any warning, shit goes sideways and it's time to reap some souls. Dispatching enemy souls to the netherrealm has never felt so good to me in a video game. The way that the melee hits feel so heavy and brutal, and the way that enemies dynamically call out and communicate. The way that your reticle swings back and forth as you move and desperately try to shoot to save your life. Are you turned on yet? Give me 1 second, I'm about to finish on this guy's face real quick. Take this mini-boss for example. Motherfucker was handing out ass whoopings. Kicked my ass 3 times. And then I realized all I needed was a well-placed high five to the face with my trusty yeet cannon.
Gotcha, you motherfucker.
So I had forgotten how terrifying the infected were, especially on a higher difficulty. The bloater fight towards the beginning of the game is easily one of the top 5 best boss fights of any game, for me. It might have just been the weed that I was smoking, but that asshole was tearing down walls trying to get to me and it was exhilarating. It puckered up my butthole several times. Visually speaking, The Last of Us 2 is like Natalie Portman's chest meat. In other words, it's f***ing gorgeous.
Yeah, pink nipples then.
Of course, the vegetation moves and reacts in realistic ways, the weather is both beautiful and immersive, and the lighting is done perfectly. As far as PS4 graphics are concerned, I feel like the bar has already been set by games like God of War and RDR2, and where this game might not be as visually striking, I feel like it does deserve a place for its name among those great titles. However, there is one thing that The Last of Us 2 does better than any other game that I've played. It's the brutal combat again. Now I know I've already talked about this in the gameplay section, but it's worth mentioning here too. Just listen. In most good games, you'll be walking around taking in the sights. It's beautiful, it's immersive, you're starting to forget that you're in a video game. And then shit hits the fan and buttons start getting mashed. And not that you lose any immersion, but you do remember that you're in a video game, so you act accordingly. The Last of Us 2 had me forgetting I was in a video game in the middle of combat. I was starting to feel empathy for these motherfuckers. I'm serious. Just take a look at some of this gameplay footage with the HUD turned off. That's heads-up display for you filthy casuals. Again, this is all just my opinion. You might disagree, and that's okay. But you probably have no friends. Sound is really important in a survival game. It allows you to really feel the crunch of the melee hit and the impact of the bullet. The Last of Us 2 has some of the best sound design I've ever heard in a game. Everything from the way that the rain sounds rolling off of the vegetation, to the screams and clicks that the infected make off in the distance, giving you anxiety. My favorite sound is when you shoot someone in the knob gobbler and you get to listen to them drown as the blood rushes into their throat. Also, it's worth mentioning that the enemies have names. Like, you're not just killing enemy_4. You're killing Chris. Sorry, Chris. You just got domed.
I know you wish things were different. I wish things were different.
On the street, did you look? Right here!
But they ain't.
In The Last of Us Part 2, you play as two main characters, the first of which being Judith from The Walking Dead, who loves to smoke pot and make funny faces in the mirror, and the second of which being WWE's very own Triple H, and he is always flexing on fools.
Go get it.
In this story, you will get to experience both of these characters' tangled revenge plots as you explore the country of Chaz, formerly known as Seattle. Both the facial expressions and the voice acting are amazing, as you would come to expect from developers like Naughty Dog. The game gave me damn near every emotion, from sadness and anger to laughter and regret, back to more sadness and anger. The game is all over the place in that regard, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It takes really great storytelling to make you hate a character one instance and then attach to them the next. And then make you ask yourself, who's the real monster out here in this apocalypse? The game will throw twists at you that you won't like, and if you're a longtime fan, it's probably going to piss you off. But that's life. You don't get to choose the bullshit that you get to eat in life. You just gotta grab a fork and start eating through it. Now it's time for a trivial rating. I give The Last of Us 2 a Hollywood 8 golf clubs out of 8.5 golf clubs. If you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it, consider liking and subscribing. Or don't, I don't really give a shit. But if you really enjoyed it, you should get a piece of paper, write Lobo Gaming on it, and then tape that piece of paper to the brick. Then take that brick and throw it through your neighbor's window. This will help spread the good word of my channel. Love you guys. Nothing left to do now but have Ellie play me out to some sweet guitar licks.
I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil, because I'm blind to it all. And my mind and my gun, they comfort me, 'cause I know I'll kill my enemies when they come. Surely goodness and mercy will follow me all the days of my life, and I'll dwell on this earth forevermore. Said I'll walk beside the still waters, and they restore my soul. But I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I'm wrong. I can't walk on the path of the right, 'cause I